Hello, I'm Karen Seitz, the happiness expert, and welcome to the Happy Wife School. Today, I would like to have a little fun and share with women my best marriage advice to keep a peaceful, easygoing, calm relationship with your husband. Last week, I found this clip on a YouTube channel called Mike and Joelle. It is really cute. It's a married couple, and he plays jokes and comedy for her and then records her reacting. And they're all marriage jokes and husband and wife jokes. And they're really funny because they're so true. So we're going to watch this clip together. It encapsulates my best marriage advice. And then we're going to talk a little bit about it. So let's take a look together.
A woman goes to the doctor, worried about her husband's temper. The doctor asks, "What's the problem?" The woman says, "I don't know what to do. Every day my husband seems to lose his temper for no reason. It scares me." The doctor says, "I have a cure for that. Every time your husband seems to lose his temper, get a glass of water and start swishing it. Swish and swish, but don't swallow it until he either calms down or leaves the room." 2 weeks later, the woman comes back to the doctor looking fresh and reborn. The woman says, "Doctor, that was brilliant. Every time my husband started losing it, I would swish the water. I swished and I swished, and he would calm right down. But how does a glass of water do that?" The doctor says, "The water itself does nothing. It's keeping your mouth shut that does the trick."
Oh, isn't that great? I showed that to my husband over the weekend and he laughed so hard he fell out of his chair because that's how true that clip is. So that's my best marriage advice, ladies, is learn to zip it. That's another clip I really like. I'll include in the comments below from Austin Powers. I think it's the second one where Dr. Evil is saying, "Zip it." We got to learn to keep our mouths shut because we let so many unnecessary comments, looks, sighs just fly out of our mouth that are provoking and shame our husbands, make them bad and wrong. And if we could just learn to, oh my gosh, things change almost overnight. This is one of the most important things that I learned in my marriage. It's one of the first things that I teach in my Happy Wife program to other women, to slow down and have the self-awareness of what's about to fly out of our mouth and the effect that that will have on our husband or other people in our lives, and that it creates totally unnecessary conflict, arguments, fighting, bad moods. It's not necessary. And we have the power and control to be in touch with ourselves, to catch when we're going to say something that is not necessary, that is hurtful, that is shaming, and just keep it shut. When I was first learning this many years ago in my marriage, I had a little phrase I said to myself, which was that we've all heard before, which was, "When in doubt, leave it out." I would literally say that to myself when I had a little thought come through or I was going to nitpick or criticize. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Is that necessary? So I thought I could give you just a few examples, ladies, of things that we might say, little remarks, things we talk about that create stress, again, that are shaming, that make our husbands bad and wrong. And ultimately, at the end of the day, don't make us feel good about ourselves. If we can catch these things, not let them fly out of our mouth, zip it, then we will feel better too. I love in that clip where when the guy is telling the joke, the woman comes back to the doctor looking fresh and reborn, that this benefits us too, because when you can learn to keep it shut, when you're about to say something that's hurtful or shaming or just completely inappropriate, it shows you that you respect yourself and it makes you feel really good about yourself. And your husband gets the benefit because it's part of respecting him too. So here's some examples. So when your husband goes for another beer or another drink or another plate of food, and you say, "Do you really think that's a good idea? Do you really want to do that? Are you really going to have another beer? Are you really going to have another serving of food?" Or like looking at it and then rolling your eyes, and he sees that and it hurts him. Or if he's frustrated about something, you saying anything like, oh, calm down. It's not that big of a deal, or trying to manage his reaction or his feelings. Zip it. When he might be upset because of the way we're treating him, or he had a stressful day at work, and you say something like, well, don't take your bad mood out on me and the kids. Or if you're going somewhere, like, I don't know, Thanksgiving dinner, and you're running late, and you say something like, well, if you hadn't slept in, or if you hadn't watched so much of that football game, we wouldn't be running late right now. These are just some examples I thought of that I know have flown out of my mouth over the years. Critiquing his driving, uh, making fun of him. This is a big one. Making fun of him, cutting him down, making sarcastic jokes about him in front of him with the kids, or with your family, or with his family. That is incredibly shaming and makes him wrong and bad, and it's going to cause him to react. Remember, ladies, our behaviors have consequences. Complaining, complaining or venting about his mother, or your mother, or his family, or your family, totally unnecessary. So these are just a few examples I thought of, to give us, and that should spark some ideas of the things you let fly out of your mouth, or the looks you give, that again make your husband bad and wrong, make him feel bad about himself, and cause stress and tension and fighting and bickering in the relationship. That if you could just do this one thing of keeping it shut, of zipping it, you will see dramatic changes in your marriage. And you will also see a dramatic change in how you feel about yourself. It's a simple way to begin to have integrity and build your character as a woman. Feel good about yourself, let your husband get the benefit, and again, have a peaceful, calm, easygoing relationship with your husband. This can also be applied to any relationship, like your family, or your parents, or your siblings. So I hope this was helpful. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks so much for watching.